My brother was the golden child. Now I don't speak to him or to our parents. It's that simple. I had a brother, younger, the family favorite. Today, I don't speak to him, my mom, or my dad. Ever since he came crashing into my life like a wrecking ball, and in some ways, he succeeded. I just stopped it before it got worse. We used to live in the same house. Now, we live in different worlds. Since we were kids, things were always unfair. Even though I did better in school, I was always told, you could try harder. But him, he was always protected. There was always an excuse. He was tired. He was just different. He would grow out of it. At first I got angry, then I got sad, and then I stopped talking. You get used to it, you know? When they ignore your efforts but expect more, and coddle the other one, even when he clearly messes up. After high school, I moved out. He stayed. I went to college, not Harvard, but a decent one, on my own. Worked campus jobs, then as a barista, then in a warehouse. My roommate had only one plate to eat off, but it was peaceful, free. My brother stayed home, said he was finding himself, then said he was studying to be a producer. Later, college isn't everything. He partied. Once my mom sent me one of his tracks, something about space and pain. I didn't reply. Everything changed when I met Hannah. She was different. Quiet, smart, with kind eyes. She worked at a library, always carried a little notebook. I loved the silence around her. Just sitting there, knowing she wasn't comparing me to anyone. We moved in together. First, a tiny room with a ridiculous balcony. Then, a small apartment. Hannah supported me when I was tired. She was the first to say, you don't always have to be the older brother. You can just be yourself. And for the first time, I actually believed it. My family didn't warm up to her, especially him. We visited for Thanksgiving. Hannah tried her best, helped in the kitchen, brought wine. My mom said thank you, but it was cold. Dad stayed quiet. And Alex, my brother, looked her up and down and said, Hannah, you'd make a perfect daughter-in-law. We need someone like you in this family. Then he laughed, not the friendly kind, the smug, backhanded kind. Later, Hannah told me, he gives me a weird feeling. His eyes called it, is the song without endirend, as we need without you, and its face, and he recognized. Hannah's self-dad works a change, has also performance on wearing free, and then he favorite to be used for kids. So it's called an incidency with the gray system. That Hannah quickly part in the combined things for you. Later, Manel willing Toriel can. I laughed to hear Hannah started to form when I want a rising of data moment. That he was the Lis Christum lay, the world and the mystery well fact. Extraman sent. Also release in Hannah goes to, he laughed at a tragic group. That he breathes happy in his mystery. That he was often to talk with he, and placing them. And the environment to Jesusly was ticking. The laughed of Hannah cry, and see it. You work through them. To talk about stretch, and you will leave in the red. And just told me anyone. It's so good. It Chief Caldies discover then. The I want to build world and lives. You're so how wide to know you. He showed up when everything felt stable. Sophie was just over 2. I was working remotely. Hannah picked up pharmacy shifts. Weekends were simple. Park visits, cartoons, pancakes. Nothing fancy, but it was ours. Then he messaged, not forever, just need to breathe. A couple weeks max. Letting him stay wasn't easy. Hannah tensed up right away, not because she was cruel, but because she knew the backstory. My childhood, my mom, the golden boy. Are you sure this is a good idea? He's my brother, I said, even though I wasn't sure at all. We set rules, guest room only, 2 to 3 weeks, clear boundaries. He'd stay, get back on his feet, and go. At first, he played the part. Polite, did his dishes, brought groceries, talked to Sophie, played blocks with her. He became the fun uncle, the kind that shows up with balloons and disappears. I even thought maybe he changed. Maybe I was wrong all along. But Hannah saw what I didn't. He lingered too long in the kitchen with her, laughed too loud, made little jokes. One night I overheard him say, "You deserve more. Retaliate, hope he sees your worth." When I walked in, silence. He shrugged, striped. "We were just messing around. Chill, man." And again, I said nothing. Then Sophie started to change, and it scared me. She stopped running to hug me when I got home, sat beside Alex, watched cartoons. If I asked her to play, she'd say she was tired. One night, I heard her whisper to him, "Is Daddy mad again?" He said, "He's not mad. He just has a lot going on. But don't worry, I'm here." I wasn't mad. I was working, providing. But instead of hugging me, my daughter clung to him. I started to feel it in my gut. Something wasn't right. It wasn't about proof. It was the atmosphere. That feeling when your own home doesn't feel like yours, and no one acknowledges it. Alex got comfortable, spent hours on the couch, disappeared for half the day, came back with cheap food, dropped it on the table like charity. I felt myself getting angry, then bitter. I talked less with Hannah, and when we did talk, it felt like shouting through a wall. Then it happened, by accident. I worked late, client emergency, came back around midnight. The kitchen light was still on. I stepped in quietly, ready to shower and sleep, until I heard laughter. Hers, Hannah, and Alex's voice. I peeked through the door. They were sitting across from each other. He held her wrist. Nothing physical happened, but that was the point. Sometimes intimacy isn't touch. Sometimes it's just the way someone looks at your wife. I went to the bathroom, turned on the hot water, but it felt cold. I didn't scream. I wasn't furious. I felt empty. I didn't say anything the next morning, but I started watching. I installed a simple Wi-Fi tracker, nothing illegal. I just wanted to know, do they talk when I'm not home? The answer was yes, constantly. She deleted the messages, but the timestamps said enough. Then I saw him walk into our bedroom when Hannah was already inside. He stayed a minute, then walked out. Laughter, chit-chat, and then cold silence between us. Sophie was the last straw. She drew a picture, a family, 3 people. I was off to the side, in the center, Hannah and Alex. She held both their hands. I asked, "Why did you draw it like that?" She said, "Daddy's always tired, but Uncle Alex plays with me." That's when I snapped. Not at her, not at Hannah. I snapped at everything. Then the bank notification came in. $900 withdrawn from Hannah's card. I asked her, she looked confused, said she didn't know. I checked, transfer to an e-wallet, no name shown, but I already knew. I walked into his room, he was asleep. Laptop open, wallet tab, his name, the same transaction. That was it. No screaming, no drama. I packed his things, left them by the door. He woke up hours later, didn't even look surprised. "You serious?" "You serious?" He smirked. That same arrogant childhood smirk, like he knew he'd get away with it. "You know Mom's gonna eat you alive for this." "Let her," I said. "Bottoms, at least it'll be honest this time." He left. And the calls came in the next day from my mom, then Dad. "How could you do this to your brother? He's going through a lot. He needed you." But no one asked what I needed, what Hannah needed, what Sophie felt. No one asked what it was like, living in a house that no longer felt like mine, with a man who tried to replace me. They didn't care. They still don't. We haven't spoken since. Hannah cried that night, not out of guilt, but because she blamed herself for not seeing it sooner. I told her, "You did nothing wrong. You were kind. That's all." She held Sophie and whispered, "This will never happen again." And I believed her. I know I did the right thing. My family, Hannah and Sophie, they matter way more than what those people think of me. The ones who ignored me growing up, who silenced me, who celebrated him for doing nothing. So before anyone judges me, trust me, you weren't in my place. And there's a lot I didn't even say here. I don't know every detail. I just wanted to let it out. If you've read this far, thank you. especially if you supported me. I'm not perfect, but I protected my home. That's all. Author's note from narrator. That's the end of the story, and honestly, I fully support the author. I probably would have done the same. A wife and daughter should come first, before the comfort of toxic relatives. But that's just me. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next story.